This Bitcoin price action has been behaving like the most popular political figure in all of history. Slow, boring, and consistently falling down. And with the monthly time frame printing this bearish divergence, and the daily time frame also printing the dreaded upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boob pattern, which medical doctors refer to also as a bearish divergence. So you can understand why some people are getting a little bit apprehensive, maybe a little bit nervous. But today we're going to be talking about the very important information that nobody else is talking about as it pertains to this Bitcoin price action in this current range. So make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and stick around to the end because you are not going to find this information anywhere else. And a major shout out to the Casper crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com because we have been giving these juicy short setups along the way down, taking the short from around $71,000. And even just a few days ago, this current short trade that you see here was the setup that we gave during the New York Open live stream. So we've been able to take advantage of the price action both ways. But what is about to happen to Bitcoin right now? Well, it's a bit of a tragic story, but as we came up to this very key level here at around $72,000, you can see once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and the 5th time, we got a harsh rejection from the level. Why is this? Well, that $72,000 level is a very attractive female. All right. Now, me personally, I have never had a girlfriend in my life. I just can't. I don't know what it is, but whenever I meet a girl, I end up in something called the friend zone. So when I asked her out, $72,000, she gave me the hand, she gave me the face. It led to the harsh rejection. Now, I had high hopes that we were going to get matching Ben coin tattoos on our neck and our hands and live happily ever after on our crypto gains, but she had other ideas. As you can see, we got a pretty significant move to the downside. And the most important thing about this is the fact that after we came to this high and we did print that bearish divergence on the daily time frame, we have rejected from the value area high of this range that we've been trading since the last day of February. Why is this so important? Well, whenever you look at the volume of a sideways range, this is telling you where does the market consider the asset to be fairly priced? Between the top and the bottom of the fair value zone. If you reject from the top of the fair value zone, it's more probable than not that we will eventually make our way back down to the bottom of the fair value zone. And as you can see, we've rejected from the top of the fair value zone. We are below the highest volume node, and therefore the probabilities do say that it is more probable than not that we still come down a little bit lower to the bottom of this fair value zone. However, if we go ahead and we take a Fibonacci retracement tool from the last major swing low to our current high, you can see that we are bouncing from the Fibonacci golden pocket. Why is that 618.65 level so important? Well, the 0.68 Fibonacci, also known as the golden ratio, is actually our high school crush, 618, the 618 Fibonacci level. We are in the friend zone, and so if we're pumping, yes, she will reject us, but because we're also in the friend zone, she will be there to offer her support when we are feeling down that we will never have a girlfriend. So this is actually one of the areas that we need to be aware of for a potential bounce on Bitcoin. Now, the New York market is closed today. It is a Wednesday. And so obviously we have some low volatility, but the main idea right here is when you take the area between the 618 Fibonacci and the 786 Fibonacci, all right, 786 Fibonacci is actually the older sister of the 618 Fibonacci. Here's a picture of her right here. This is very, very important support, especially when we are in an uptrend as we are right now. So people are getting scared, people are getting bearish down at this area, but this is very, very key support. In fact, this is one of the areas that we were looking for a bounce or a long trade in the Casper crew VIP Discord. In fact, you can see I'm currently in a little bit of a long trade right now. So as we are coming down to this level, what we want to see on our oscillator is we want to see these momentum waves getting higher over time. We want to see this purple money flow getting higher over time. And if it's getting higher over time as we come down to this major level of support, then we can expect a bounce from this area. Now, I do expect a bounce from around this area, but then we need to be really cautious because as we come back to the high volume node of the range, this is where we're either going to reject and actually make another low, or we're actually going to break above and shoot for those highs one more time. So we can't really know right now what is going to happen, but what I am looking to happen is I am looking for a bounce from around this green box, looking for at least a move back up to around the $67,000 region, about a 4 or 5% move, and then we will see what the market wants to do. Does the market want to reject from here and actually put us much lower, and we'll talk about targets, or are we going to shoot for those highs again? Based on some of these higher term timeframes, it's a little bit unclear, and I do have to say I lean a little bit more bearish. So if we do get a big move to to the downside and we reject from these key areas, what am I looking at? Well, if we go to our weekly time frame, what do we see? We pretty much have no support all the way up back from January besides this little level at $52,000, this little weekly order block that we have right here. That means if we are going to reject from around the $67,000 and make another lower low, I'm expecting at least a $52,000 Bitcoin, perhaps even coming down to this very key zone where if we go to the monthly time frame, or the 2-week time frame, I should say, we have this little 2-week area of consolidation right here at around the low 40s. So these would be my two major targets if we get a major move to the downside and we see some of these bearish divergences play out. Now, am I overall bearish on Bitcoin? Am I bearish on the market cycle? Personally, I still believe that we are going to see higher. And one of the main reasons why, it all has to do with the macro market cycle. From the time of the halving to the all-time high, we usually have about 400 or so days. We saw it back here in 2012, about 400 days from the halving to the all-time high, and these white lines represent the halving. We saw it here in 2017, about 400 days from the halving to the top of the cycle. And then we see it also, once again, right here, from the halving to around the top of the cycle, about 400 days. So what does this mean? Well, to me, this means if we do 400 days into the future, that is going to bring us into the spring of 2025, where I am expecting Bitcoin to top out, right? So this is still a few months. So what do I think then about this bearish divergence on the monthly chart? Well, based on historical data as well, the all-time high, the top did not come in until we got the divergence locally on the monthly time frame. So if we're going to get a nice pullback here, I would still expect something like this to happen, which would allow us to then print a nice local divergence on the monthly for our cycle top to then come in. This is how I'm currently holding my spot Bitcoin, as I've only sold 20% of the Bitcoin that I was aggressively buying below $25,000 during the bear market. I am still expecting higher prices to come, even if we have some volatility along the way. So what does this mean? This means I am holding short trades in the event of a massive dump to the downside, and then I'm going to take the money that I have made from these short trades that I'm currently holding from the setups we gave in the Casper crew, and I will use that money to then buy Bitcoin in the event that we come to much lower prices. However, I am still aware that as we are trading in the sideways range, where we're at right now is very key support, and we could see a bounce to at least $67,000 or higher. And if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, my go-to exchanges are number one, MEXC, the best deal on fees in the game, 0.01% make order fee, 0.0% take order fee. Actually reverse that. And if you don't want to KYC, I'm currently trading on ZOOMEX and Blowfin. I also trade on BingX as well. So make sure to check those things out. And if you want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com to join the Discord and take advantage of the great educational materials that we have on the website. That is it for today's video. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. And I will see everybody in the next video. Peace!